Hey, Dan. So we are live again.
We're live.
So what do we have for today?
Well, today I think we wanted to cover a filter magnet, um, new and improved, updated, better than ever, and maybe a quick template. And if we get any questions, or if something comes up, then we might cover that or
Yeah.
show how to do some stuff. Would you
Sh-
like to start us off by showing off the filter magnet?
Yeah. Let's start with filter magnet, and then we can go to templates. So what we have here basically is an example of the new filter magnet. The older functionality, which is like just looking for stuff in tables or different components, is still working, but we add a new type of filter, which is filtering using records and records IDs. So if you come here as an example, when you're creating a new one, you have the option of record ID. Before it was only like text, checklist, list, so on, but now you also have record ID. And the reason why that's really important is because it's a really easy way to just use your connected data in the best way as possible, which is like analyzing all your data, doing filters, and so on. And also searching for connections inside different records. So, for example, here we have like two different buttons that we created for this specific example. This first one filters by project. So we are not even looking for like the ID here on risks. We are actually looking for projects here. So what they were going to do is like they will filter for specific projects inside the table risks. So it's a connected record inside this table. So if I come here and I select like this one, I have all these three different risks for the same project. So that's why like this is really useful because you can actually like select records, filter them. You can delete it. You can just look for a specific record, like just typing the name, select them, and so on. And you can actually access the information of that record that you are filtering on.
Well, you
Uh,
kind of mentioned this a little bit yesterday. Kind of like, hey, we need to filter more with their connected records, right? But this tool is more than just filtering. This one is filtering whenever you want in a really fast way. That's
Yeah,
very
and
interesting.
it works with multiple components here. I'm just using this one and this one as examples, but it could change like the numbers here. It could change like graphics and so on. So, for example, if I come here to risks, it's going to change a specific risk here. So it's almost like a navigation tool as well, if you want. So every time that I choose, another way to do that as well in this case is just come here and change and select the one that you want. Um, we have also made an improvement on this component since yesterday, which is adding buttons here. So now you have the button also
Oh, for the
inside.
actions
Yeah, for
or
the
any
act.
of our tricks and automations.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And for example, one thing that we could do is we could come here to risks and add a new component. So for example, um, on the one, let's see if they have like an indicator. Single record.
Well, that simple
Yeah,
indicator.
yeah, that's
Oh
one.
yeah.
So by record ID, and I save it. So if I select here, it's going to change both of them, like here and
Mm.
here. Of course, this example is not really useful because it's always going to be one because I'm selecting like only one. Or no, in this case it's odd. In this case it's like zero because it has no risks here. It's interesting.
That's cool that it has the indicator. Does it let you disable the does it let you disable the filter magnet really easily?
yeah, sure. You can just clean like your filters always here, or like if you come here. You just click here.
Well, you used to be able to click right on that little like symbol that shows that it's being filtered. Does it still work like that?
Like here, you
Yeah. So
say,
test,
you
click
know,
that, and then yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. So it enables and
yeah,
disables.
you can do like both ways because sometimes like you have a component that's like down here instead of
Yeah, there
here.
was us.
Yeah, so this it seems like a small improvement, but actually it's the difference between like being super useful to not being that usable. This is specific improvement that we do
Yeah.
here on the
It's not
filter.
as. It was pretty useful before for certain very specific ones, but this is much more broad in its usability. That's really cool.
Yeah. Also, like one thing that we are doing today as well is like we went to our website and I realized that didn't have all the automations here. We actually have like many more automations, and we just forgot to add them here. So it's semi-automatic. That's why we forgot it. But we are just working on to make it automatic on the website as well. So if you don't have a Jestor account, you also know like all the automations that we have here. And we are launching like almost a new automation every day, right? And if you are on our community, you'll see that we have like really different examples there, including
Well,
some
yeah,
interesting.
I'm seeing some that I've never seen before just now, because like the custom HTML PDF one, for example, wasn't really there before. That's something that we were working on, and then that one was launched yesterday for the CEP or the Brazilian zip codes, basically.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a Brazilian company, basically now, if you have uh, CEP, a SEP for your company, client, whatever, you can get the address. So it's basically it's a simple automation, but it's really useful instead of just going to their website, whatever you need to do to just get the address and so on. And it could be useful also for anyone that's also using like maps and this kind of stuff. Uh, another one, like we have lots of them that are like in beta as well because we are launching it as fast as we can and we are testing it live. So if you want, it's working. Like this one is a really simple one. It's working, but we are just making sure that everything that we expect is working accordingly. And also, if our users have any suggestions, we can improve the ones that we are working on right now. Like we can improve any of them, but that ones would be like just faster. Um, yeah, so we have lots of them that we will launch soon as well, and we are adding more and more every day. And I think it's time for some templates, right, Dan?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question on that though. Tricks. Why do we call them tricks? Because it's like a trick.
Yeah, yeah. The idea is that the initial idea is that it should be like almost like a magical experience because it should be as simple as just as if you click some stuff and you have an automation. It's much easier than trying to learn how to code for 10 years and then do an automatic email. So that's the idea. Like you don't need any previous knowledge. You just go there, you select the options that you want. Every time that a new client's closed, send an email. That would take 4 minutes to do, like with no previous knowledge about automations, coding, or whatever. So that's the idea. In tricks, uh, they're a little bit different than like this all workflow automations and super complex stuff because the idea of tricks is like it's a small automation that's really specific. So it's pretty fast to do, pretty fast to build, and they compound. So you can combine like lots of them in order to do like a complex automation instead of just trying to do something that's too complex that never gets done. Like it happens a lot even with low code, no code tools. Like they allow you to do like crazy automations, but you never finish it. Or once you finish it, it's not that useful anymore, and then you need to change again. So tricks, in my view, are much more useful, much faster. You can test faster. You can be more productive faster. You don't need to know a lot about coding or know a lot about anything to build it. So it's that's why it's called tricks, just like
Yeah.
a magic trick.
Yeah, Jestor's tricks, magical. Yeah, I remember you talking about it, and I remember I've always considered that since the day one, like how important that is to just for us to kind of have a little bit more of a playful voice to just more magical experience. Ideally, is what we're shooting for. So I am trying to share my screen
Oh, yeah.
here and for the template, and
Well,
we can. Yeah, that's mine. And so here is just coming into a template built by a builder, no code builder. And this one is the course registration form in beta for now, but it should be working really, really well from what we've seen. And this one is kind of like, again, you could use it internally, if you were to take a phone call or just having employees enter it, or carefully turning it around to be a public app with the form inside of it. It's pretty basic. So I open it up here. And so this is in an app. And I always suggest, as normal, that you would, anytime you're working on a new functionality or the like, you would have an app that's kind of dedicated. That's where you're going to pool all the stuff, and that's where the work is going to happen. And so in this case, what we did is we put in a text box here, or there is a text box in here, and then choosing this form. So if we went to edit, it's a component type of forms, and then selecting the table of students, including connected fields. In this case, there isn't particularly connected fields. And then when you choose next, you choose which fields can go in it. In this case, we're using all of the ones that are from the student's table. And so let's go and test this out really quick. First, actually, I think it'd be cool to look at the table. So this is everything that's in it for now.
who should
And
use
then,
this template then? Like for
say that again.
who should use this template? Why did we build this one?
Yeah, so this could be used for quite a few different applications, right? This could be a small school. This could be used for an internal course that you're trying to register for. Let's say, like for Gesture, if we're trying to have people register their intentions on a specific workshop, or could be trying to get one from one that we would be requesting, like a course request or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, this one is, I think, more intended for some kind of a school or the like. What do you think? Are there some other uses perhaps for this one?
Even online courses, like people are nowadays like selling courses on how to do stuff, like how to invest, how to, I don't know, how to be a social media influencer, how to be a YouTuber. Like this is a really easy way to just organize your clients and your users, your viewers, and so on in an easy way. Also, like if you're just a traditional school or like any type of institution that gives courses or classes for someone, maybe you are like a teacher that gives classes to, I don't know, to learn a new language or something, and it was before in person, but nowadays everything is online. And in a way it's good because that now you can have like many more students. On the other hand, you need to be more organized with your time or new students and this kind of stuff. So it's a nice way to organize everything. But mainly it was built for like more traditional schools in this case. Like if you have courses, if you have like different materials, and just to have this first contact with your client with phone number, birthday, email, this kind of information, just to do your registration as the form suggests.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I was watching, somebody yesterday who was a teacher, and he was showing like, oh yeah, here's how I would have to do this in Google Sheets, right? This course registration and tracking of the students and the like. And it was really easy to break it. And so that's another reason I just really like Jestor and using it right here, because it's a little less likely if you're just entering in a record, right, using this form or even from the table. It's vastly less likely to be broken.
Not only that, like imagine if you are just like a teacher that's now giving classes online, and you have like a wide range of courses and so on. And one way to look really professional, it's if someone that just added information about like registration course or whatever, if automatically once they finish it they receive like an email saying that we are going to get back to them like as soon as possible, or an email with a calendar link to schedule a first meeting, or the first class, first free class, or whatever that you want to do. And you can do that with a few clicks. So basically, you have an entire system of registration with this form, the table that comes with it, and just like one trick or two tricks, and you can do that. So it's much more than just getting the information. Is actually
Yeah.
showing to your customers that you are uh, really professional on what you do. And the thing is, in the end, especially new students, if they don't know you, they will judge you for other stuff. Like, and then is much better if you are more digital than your competitors, especially if your students are young. Like they will evaluate you if you have automations, if you have like cool tech behind you. I know it should not matter, like it should matter that you're a great teacher and so on, but as a first time that you're talking with a customer, if you have everything automatic and you have like a form and all the information there, and you can be more prepared to your first meeting, maybe you can ask some questions on this form like, why do you want to learn X? Why do you? And then it's much better for both of you to have a better interaction as soon as we have this interaction, or for the second time or whatever. So automations, not only that they are efficient for, so you don't need to like send an email after someone register as a student, but also to show you that you are like a really good professional, that you care about like being organized, being on time, or whatever that you need to show them. So
Yeah, and it's really quick and easy to set in an automation to accomplish what you're saying, right?
yeah, it's not only
And
about
it can be done by anybody.
yeah, it's not only about being efficient, it's about being like selling more. And because in the end that's what you want, right? Like it doesn't matter if you're a teacher or an artist or influencer or whatever. You want to grow, you want to sell more, you want to have like the best experiences possible with your clients, with your students, and so on. So I think it's really nice because it gives you so much power with so much little that you need to invest in order to do that. Like you can do all this for free in Jasper, and the thing that you need to invest if you're just yourself a teacher and so on is like a few minutes of your time, and then you're much better professional because of that. In my opinion, of course,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that all the time, but I think it helps. Like I would like to have a teacher that once I fill out some form, I will receive an automatic email or maybe automatic SMS, WhatsApp saying like, "Oh, thank you so much for registration. We are already dealing with your information here, and I will get back to you as soon as we can with a date and time for your escape." Because like let me tell you about the experience that it's not the same, like it's a different market and everything. I had to schedule a meeting with a doctor, and it's the worst experience ever because they only use phones. I don't know if there's a reason for it, but I hate when I need to call someone to do something and they were not able to reach me because they were calling me, and I just never answer if someone's calling me because it's always like ads, and I don't want ads, and I don't want to talk with anyone. I just want to schedule a doctor appointment. So I start already thinking like, oh my god, this doctor doesn't have the best experience. Maybe like he's the best doctor ever, and of course that matters. But the thing is, like, I'm already kind of skeptical because of that. It's like, man, they could just even like do it by email, but even a form, it's okay. Like I would fill out a
Yeah.
form with my information, my address, my whatever they need, like my social ID number, whatever, any information. But no, I had to stay in the phone for 40 minutes with someone to schedule a meeting, to give all my information. So the really bad experience. I don't know if that's normal. I think that's normal with doctors and stuff, but it shouldn't
Seems
be.
like it, but yeah.
It shouldn't be, right? Like it's already 2022. Like it's like it's not 1970s or whatever. Like
Yeah, and it's that tender care for the experience of your clients, or your, in their case, their patients, or if you have patrons, or if it's your customers.
yeah,
Consider what their experience is like,
yeah,
right?
we should build a template for doctors
We're, we're gonna have
or
to build a
any
template for
clinic
doctors.
like that you like dentists, whatever. Like I would be like 10x happier. Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes the doctor would be like even not that good, but I would be happier at least like for the whole experience, and I would give like them a try. Like I would be more willing to do that.
Yeah,
So it's not like that's the only thing that matters, but that's the first interaction with your client. And if it's a bad one, if it's like I need to call someone to do something, I like. And the thing is, for health reasons, I know it's like a really bad way to do stuff, but if I need to call a doctor, I just don't call, and I stay with the pain until I can't, because the pain of calling someone is just it's so annoying. I hate to do it. I hate to do it. And I hate to make my cell phone like without the do not disturb sign, because basically I will receive like 10 different calls from someone selling me more faster internet instead of like my doctor.
yeah,
And yeah, like I know I went away from the point here, but actually it's the same point. It's like if I had to imagine if I want to learn how to speak Spanish, um, if I had to call someone, talk to them and everything, I would probably never do that because it takes a lot of time, and sometimes, especially like courses, if it's like learn how to learn more about crypto 101, stuff like this. Um, Sometimes you don't really want it, but you are like you are just had a conversation about crypto. You want to know more. So if I had to call someone, I will never buy it. However, if it's a form that I already schedule a meeting, and then the person that will go give the course or whatever send me a link or just say like pay here or whatever, my chances of being a client are like 20x higher because I will do that in 5 minutes, but I will not
yeah.
call anyone to have a
I,
course.
I
So
think a lot of people
like
have
people
that
like
same sentiment. Yeah, calling is obnoxious for sure. So just rolling it back into this, I agree that there's a lot of opportunity to improve upon that experience. And one thing you kind of had mentioned too, there is also a template. I believe it's course instructor feedback form. So this would be another interesting template to we won't cover it particularly, but that you could have both of these templates put in to the system and then use them in conjunction, like with course registration with a feedback form would be pretty cool. One thing I was going to show in here, while I didn't finish like going over this piece here, is because I wanted to just show like the birthday piece. One thing you can do is you could do March. Let's say it was March 20th. Um, it's 1999. You can type that in, and then it gets there too. So you don't have to
I
like
didn't
maybe
know
go
that.
through.
I didn't know that it was possible to do that.
Or even if you just were like, oh, I just need to get approximately close to the year, you can do 1999, and it puts you on the last day of the year. So then the year previous, then you can jump right into that year. Pretty cool. Especially, I was just like, because I was like, oh man, I have to do this. I wonder if it works if I type it in. So then I'll learn that. So yeah, March 20th. This is going to be 1997 or something. Okay, cool. And then submit. Submit another. Now we need one for Bruno, perhaps, because this one's going to be the Spanish. I guess I have to refresh. If you add one course, okay, there we go. Yeah, so I added Spanish while you were talking just to see if it would work. Let's just go and see actually over here. Refresh it, and we should have my entry in here already. Boom, there it is. So I was thinking that we could show people how then they could extend from this basic template, right? I mean, the concept would be, of course, this needs to be customized to the needs of each one. And that's kind of like what I just barely did was I edited this field for the courses and I just added Spanish. You know, it was that easy. What were you going to say?
One thing that you could do is just show like how to send an automatic email. It's pretty easy. Like we don't need to do everything now because you need to log in with your account, but just go there and click on the automations. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little slower. I usually go too fast, right? So click on automations. And then when this window comes up, click to create a new trick. And then we can give it a name, like this one will be
email after registration.
Email after registration. And then in this case, we'll.
In this case, is when a record is created in Jestor. Because
so when a new one. Yeah.
When you fill out a form, then this information creates a record in Jestor. A record is basically like a row on your spreadsheet or this kind of stuff. So it's new information on your system.
Yeah, so when a new record or row or entry, right, is added, then
automatically
we're going to do something.
You select the table that you are at. So you're at students, so you can just move forward.
This is because you could create an automation for any table.
Yeah.
In this case, we're inside of this table rather than just going in the automation tab. So then save for students, and then we're going to add an action here. So it says when a new row is added, then we're going to do something. So we could have a webhook, we could send a text message, etc. But in this case, we wanted to send an email. There it is. So then you would click here, and you would connect it with Gmail, but ideally we're not going to do that right now. But then you can choose all of these pieces: who its email is from, name it's from, reply to. In this case, particularly, we want the email to be from the customer's email. So let's scroll down here just a little bit, and it has it somewhere in here.
You can type email.
Just type it, I guess. That'd be a lot easier.
No, inside the search bar, not in the field.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There we go. That's the one we want. Better remove that.
Delete the first one. Yeah.
So email 2, and then that's the email that's right there.
Yeah, go to the last one. I think is the actual email that you write. So if you go to the email message, you can use the fields that you have. Like hi and then name, because it will be different names because we have like different clients.
Hi person, and then we could have
thanks for you. Cool. You can say like thanks for your registration. We will get back to you about the course, and then you can say like the name of the course soon, something like this. Like just really easy. And that's it. Then you send the email. Like, of course, you need to fill out all the information if you want for your subject of the email, like registration form or whatever. You need to log in with your account, but that's it. You don't need to know how all the automations or how Python, whatever works. It doesn't matter. Like what matters is that you are going to have a better process.
I didn't know you could do the subject name, the subject line too. That's really cool. So you're gonna have a dynamic subject as well. Wow,
You can have
that's
even
really dope.
attachments. So yeah, like I think that's a cool example. Do we have questions from the community today, Denon?
Let's go see here. One of them was around how do you just do a basic trick. So we just kind of showed one of them right there.
I have
And
another one. Like yesterday, two different people asked the same thing, and frequently people ask the same question, which is like, are we able to duplicate tables, apps, and so on?
good question.
You will be able in maybe 1 week, probably. Like we
So
are
the
going
concept will be that you would click here and be able to duplicate.
to duplicate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, I want
probably,
that.
yeah, because it's almost like you have a template for yourself. So if you build something that you like, you can just duplicate. Maybe imagine like, I don't know, you are working on operations, but someone on HR needs something that's similar, but it's a different topic. Then you just duplicate it and then you share with HR saying like, hey, HR person, here is my process. You can change the name, change whatever you want in order to make it useful for you. And then it
Yeah.
doesn't affect you because you have your own table for doing your stuff.
Yeah. So like if it was this one right here, we'd be able to make a course registration form that would be for specific people. Maybe it's for teenagers, and then we have one that's for adults, right? So they'd be different. Like, oh, if you're going to use this one, then use this one, use this one, or whatever would be, right?
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, no, that was great. Any other thing that you want to share with everyone? Other, if not, we are back here on Monday.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good for now. I don't think we need to extend it too much. I think that the filter that you presented, people need to be testing that out
Yeah, and we
because
will
of
bring new templates with
the
that
power and
filter
the apps of
already
that.
built, so it will be easier. Like it's going to be really useful for one that we are developing, which is for inventory. So that one will be nice, and also we will see our clients using it for different stuff, and probably uh, it will be something that will be that will have more applications that we expect. So we'll bring it here and show to you guys different ways to use the same thing.
Thanks for having me on today.
See you. Bye bye, Dylan.
Appreciate it, everybody. Take care.